Greetings Mavericks and new viewers. Tonight, direct and live from the Maverick News Network World Studios. This is Maverick News with Rick Walker.
Trump says no rematch, no second debate with Kamala Harris. Will that come to pass or not pass? Trump says no. We had quite a show last night. We had people calling in, weighing in on the conversation. Probably the weirdest presidential debate in American history. Very strange. The Democrats saw him coming, as far as I'm concerned. They've crafted this. They started that whole campaign with the word weird, and everything has fallen into place ever since. What are we talking about tonight? They're eating the cats, the dogs, they're eating the cats. Still talking about it. It's the trending topic. Weird. I have to hand it to the strategists at the DNC, the Harris campaign team. They've done a heck of a job in turning the campaign around. I know we have a lot of Trump fans in our family, but guys, it is what it is. Don't shoot the messenger. Should Trump do another debate? Yep. Definitely, he should. If he has the opportunity, he should do it. Because he needs to make up some lost ground now. He was caught kind of flat-footed, I think. And someone's telling me YouTube is not running. I think YouTube probably is running. It was just late being set up tonight. So we are on YouTube. It looks like we're running. I don't know. There's not much I can do at this point. We just had a little trouble getting the streams set up again tonight. We continue to have some internet issues. But it looks like we're operational on all channels. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We will probably go to the phones again, give you guys an opportunity to weigh in on this conversation. I'll put the number up on the screen in a moment. What else? We have the first commercial space walk with SpaceX. We'll tell you about that. We have 2 people killed in Kingston, Ontario at a homeless encampment near a safe injection site. That is stirring controversy. And we have other politics to talk about, both in Canada and the U.S. So there's just a lot of ground to cover tonight. Man, I'll tell you, it's been a weird one. It's been a weird week, a weird debate, a weird election so far. Why do I feel like it's about to get weirder? And it's so weird, I made this.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. And this is what's happening in our country. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people am the president. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
The entire world is watching.
Every dictator, every crazy dictator in the world is watching. The world is watching. On TV, the entire world is watching. On social media.
But the entire world is watching, and yes, they are seeing what we have apparently bravely been willing to say that others are thinking.
Stand for freedom. Literally stand for freedom. Let's get this done. The entire world is watching.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars.
Maverick News. Maverick News. Maverick News.
Let me have more control of my own destiny.
The world is watching.
Okay. Instead of waiting for phone calls to come in, I'm going to phone a couple of people. Let's see here. Let's see. If I can. Let's start with this this whole thing. Well, let's start with right here. I'm going to take a little break, make sure this is okay. Keep the audio off. I'll be right back.
He's a fighter. He's a survivor. President Trump, defiant, strong. He is determined to make America great again. Pay tribute to the 45th President of the United States with this collectible t-shirt from the Maverick News Memorable Moments collection. Even a would-be assassin's bullet could not stop him. Instead, he emerged with his fist in the air ready to fight. For freedom. Get your Trump Fighting for Freedom t-shirt with any donation of $30 or more to Maverick News. There are 2 iconic artistic designs to choose from. But there is only one way to get these. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Support free speech. Free media. Support Maverick News. Call 1-866-248-1490 or order online at supergeeks.tv.
Hang on. Here we go. Hang on. Okay, we have to talk to Joseph because he was on the program last night. He sent me an email. I think you wrote Joseph, you're on the air live. You wrote, did you write an article about the dog and cat thing? What?
Well, I included it in the Ford News update on the media lies about the Harris v. Trump debate. And, of course, that needed to be in there. So let me state something very important first. There are some on the right, because, I say, honest, earnest analysis, and I will call out my side when they're morons, too, right? Snowflakes. It is equally stupid and wrong for some of these buffoons to be running around in a panic like thousands of pets are being killed and eaten a day. No, that is hyperbole, that is exaggeration, and you are then going to be clearly seen as a lying, conspiratorial buffoon. you show the other side, of course, though, since it's inconvenient because it relates to the immigration problem as a whole. Just want to mention it never happened, not even once. So I'm glad you called. We get this chance at a discussion. The video you showed the other day with the woman, she, if I recall correctly, admitted to the cop to killing the animal.
No, she didn't.
So,
Oh, well, she didn't say, he said, did you eat that cat? And then I think she said no. And then he said no. But he asked the kids that were there if she was eating the cat. And they said, yes, she was eating the cat. That's the way that went down.
Well, before that question, he asked if they killed that pet, and I thought she copped to that. So
yeah, there was portion of that footage where she was kneeling down and this in front of this cat that it was clearly dead. It was bleeding. You could see that it was bleeding. It looked like maybe it had its head bludgeoned or something.
Yeah, that's an important point here that I'm going to lead to. There are, again, reports in Ohio newspapers that these incidents are happening. Again, is once a month even acceptable? No, it's not. But let's, just for sake of argument, eliminate the whole eating part. I think a lot of people do know and understand part of the Haitian culture, voodooism, animal sacrifice. So let's just ignore the whole eating part for a second and just say, okay, they're killing the pests. And that makes sense logically. Well, they come from the voodoo culture. We know they do that. That might be the real story. Is that in any way better than if they are eating them?
This is so strange. It just, I mean, do you know what this reminds me of? Just came to mind. When I was a kid, I went to see the movie The Bad News Bears, the baseball movie, remember? And I don't remember if it was the first movie or the sequel, but the one kid on The Bad News Bears, no, it wasn't the Bad News Bears. What was the movie? It was a baseball movie, and one of the guys practiced voodoo. Major League?
Major League where he sacrifices chickens?
Yeah, he sacrifices chickens. So they went and got him a bucket of KFC.
Yep.
That was
now,
funny.
so again, if you don't want to believe they're eating the animals, even though there are valid reports of it happening, and again, does it have to be over a dozen times for it to matter, or is once, twice, 3 times bad enough? To me, it is. It's a point. He stated fact during the debate is the point. But again, let's throw out the whole eating thing, because again, I get it. This is icky. People don't want to believe this, but other cultures are different. And in Haiti, indeed, they deal in voodoo and animal sacrifice. So throw out the eating. Is a voodoo sacrifice of someone's pet any better? To me, the answer is no. But you get away from the whole, oh my God, they ate the pet thing.
This is such a strange election. Yeah.
But only you and me, only a few of us, you, me, and a few others, are, Newsmax did a whole segment on it last night, too. Very few of us are willing to even go down this road, and I get it. I sense your reluctance, again, because it's icky. It's horrible. You don't want to think about it.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. Truth also requires perspective, context, scale. So, like, how much of this has been going on? Is it one incident, 5 incidents, one a day, one a month, one a year? Like, how much of this is there going on? Have you been able, and for our viewers and listeners, if you're not aware, Joseph is over in Detroit. He's a contributor here to the program, and he is a journalist. He's written some books, and he's just been doing some research into this. So, what have you been able to determine so far? What are the reports, like the verifiable or credible reports, saying from the community there, especially the local media? What have you learned?
Right, again, and it's why I said at the beginning, you're right, scale and proportion and context matters. Truth matters. That's why I said idiots running around saying, oh my God, all the dogs and cats are being eaten, you're a moron to say that, right? It is a few incidents, but to my point, a few incidents is still too many incidents because they shouldn't be here in the first place. That's the point. And then you also alluded exactly like I said, understanding the culture here matters. To understand how and why it might happen is you have to understand voodoo culture in Haiti. Then it makes sense. It makes perfect sense that it is happening and why it's happening. But the bottom line is they don't belong here. They shouldn't have been here unless if they came and knocked on the front door politely and said, can we come in?
And I almost hate to put this up on the screen, but this is exactly what they're talking about over on InfoWars. Here's their headline: Eating cat issue will blow up in Dems' faces as more learn about Haitian voodoo, says former Democrat candidate Marianne Williamson.
I hate you. Thanks a lot. I hate to be put in the same sentence with the nut Alex Jones, which, he's right at times. But he's also way out in left field like an idiot a lot of times. And everyone knows Marianne Williamson, like R.T. Jr. too. They're way out there at times. But just because they say it doesn't make it untrue because they say other untruthful things. And again, if I came across that it was indeed all hoax, I would say it's a hoax. But it isn't. It's real. Again, though, yes, limited, very, very few actual incidents, but again, is one too many in people's minds. Or, they're just Haitians, they do that stuff, you gotta let them do it. No, you're in our country, you do not do that. You are not allowed to do that. We are not going to tolerate that.
Bizarre. Do you think this has cost him the election? You seem to think he won the debate last night.
Well, I backed off a bit. I think he got it on technical points, but I think it was indeed, close. Again, I'm not a cultist. I'm not a rah, my guy, he's perfect. No, he's not perfect. Nobody is. But I think he won it on points, but I also can understand, as I said on your show, it depends on what an independent is particularly looking for or swayed by. Are they looking for the technical policy points and facts, or are they more emotionally, hysterically swayed by style over substance? If they think the latter, then I can see them arguing Harris won it. But I do agree with Trump on the prize fighter thing. And I say in my article, Trump already agreed to 3. It was Kamala that refused to agree to even that second Fox debate. If you count Biden, if you count that debate, that means there should be at least one more. I can understand why Trump is saying, yeah, she blew it. She's lost. And in RFK Jr., he's correct that independents are going 60-40 our way because, news story after news story I see, independents are indeed saying, she didn't say anything. It was more platitudes and talking points, pre-rehearsed lines, no real substance. It depends on what you were looking for there. But yeah, I think Trump edged her out, and I can understand why they thought, oh, God, we lost that debate. Because it's about the independents. And indeed, if their poll says we lost in the independence group, we got to have another debate. So I think he's kind of right in the way he categorized that about a fighter or loser. I want a rematch.
So tonight, Trump is saying there will be no additional debate. Is that the right decision, or do you think he should?
Well, on the one hand, if I put my political strategist hat on, I could argue it is the right move. Why give them a chance if you feel you've already if you did knock them out the first time? Why give them the rematch? But on the other hand, it is also giving them ammunition. Oh, they're afraid. He's afraid to debate her, even though he agreed to 3 before. So I don't think it's the right move. I can understand the move, but, flip a coin.
Yeah, my view is he should do it because I think he did lose the debate. He needs to make up lost ground. Even if he didn't lose the debate, he's losing after the debate because the media coverage, he gave them, he gave them this dog cat thing. And honestly, I mean, I don't know if you saw the opening of the program tonight, but even I made a funny video about it. Kind of poking fun at the two candidates, both of them, because the whole thing is so strange. Anyway, I just had a little fun with it tonight. I think it's just it is bizarre.
Yeah, and again, if I agree with you that he should. I really lean that way. You already agreed to 3. Don't give them the power to say, he's a coward, he won't debate her again. Bull. He was the one that rejected the other debate already. You accept. I can see demanding some terms. Where is the debate going to be? If it's going to just be at MSNBC or CNN, then no, it's going to be another 3-on-1 debate. I wouldn't agree to that either. But when we stick to policy and indeed can expose her record versus her rhetoric, I think we win. So I don't fear another debate. If I were on his advisory board, I would say, do the debate.
I would too. I think he has, at this point, much to gain from doing a second one. As long as he goes in there better prepared with a better strategy. He got caught flat-footed a little bit there, I think, because he was just a little too overconfident and he looked a little too angry, and he didn't leave people with a positive, uplifting message at the end. Just those 3 things. Be happier. Go in with a few things, just a few key little pieces of strategy, a plan to kind of to nail her on a couple of issues, right? And then at the end, just leave them with your standard, let's make America great again, inspirational, positive, patriotic message.
Yeah, we will make America great, prosperous, this, that, whatever the lines are on the usual rally speech. I agree. He should have concluded with that. And I admitted the other day, I feel he missed opportunities. And the dog cat thing, while you can be correct all day long, it doesn't matter what you know to be true. It is what can you convince others is indeed true. And the better line than going into that crap was tomorrow, since it was the day before 9/11, tomorrow is the anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. And immigration, there are people coming from 2/3 of all nations on the planet, not just Central and South America. Thousands caught on terror watch lists, but then let go into the country anyway. We're setting ourselves up for another 9/11. That, to me, is obviously the far more important immigration point than, yes, 1 or 2, 3, 5 cats and dogs being eaten.
Yeah, I mean, that's supposed to be the issue is immigration, but everyone is distracted by this whole dogs and cats being eaten thing, which really, I'm certain that proportionally, it's in terms of national importance and the presidential election, it's virtually insignificant. And yet it has risen to the top of the issues for discussion, and it's not.
Well, yeah, it's now become it either happens on a daily basis. Some nuts on the right that want to argue to exaggerate and inflate the story, and you're a moron if you do. We must always be factual. They lie all the time. We have to deal in truth. So if it's just one animal, then that makes Trump's statement truthful. That makes her and the left liars about it. That's the issue on this. Not if it was 1 dog, 5 dogs, or 1,000 dogs, or it is, that's a factual report. That's factual information. They are lying because it is yet another inconvenient fact exposing the many problems of unfettered open borders.
Joseph, thank you, sir. I appreciate you taking the time to join in on this call tonight. Very helpful.
Hey, no problem. I gotta go because it's raining cats and dogs. Sorry, you know me.
All right. See you, my friend. Have a good night.
I love you, brother.
Okay, bye. Bye. Yeah, that was a good call. It's raining cats and dogs. And yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I just can't resist.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
And this is what's happening in our country. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals. Defenders of individual rights and freedoms. Credible. Trusted. Grounded in reality. Maverick News. Maverick News. Defending free speech. Free speech. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow. It may be too late. Too late. Too late. Too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
This is another strange thing. And, I should just mention the reason some people think we're not on YouTube tonight is because I inadvertently set the stream up on a different YouTube channel, not one of our main channels. It's okay. I'm just going to leave it because it will help build that channel up a little bit. It's one of our alternative channels, and I can't add another channel right now. So we'll just have to live without the main YouTube channel tonight. We're one of the secondary channels, so hopefully people find us there, or they find us over on Rumble. Rumble is where it's at, because we're not going to get turfed for, I don't know, talking about whether people eat dogs and cats. Over on YouTube, I never know what we're going to get turfed for. They change the rules every other day. You can support the channel actually just by liking, sharing, subscribing. Give us the big thumbs up. We need that. That helps work around any shadow banning or algorithm issues that the automated systems over at YouTube clue in on. You just say one wrong word, and the next thing you know, you're shadow banned. But they will boost the video if you just give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the subscription bell, the notification bell. That'll make sure that you receive a notice every time we post a new video. And if you are so inclined to support this really weird channel, you can do that too by donating at freedomreporters.com. freedomreporters.com or maverickdonations.com. Either or. Sure do appreciate the support you guys have provided. To the people who have been contributing, thank you so much. It means everything, because you guys are the only thing that keeps this place going. We got to pay the bills, and you guys are the ones helping out. We're demonetized on YouTube, so it's up to you whether we are able to pay the bills or not. Maverickdonations.com or freedomreporters.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. $30 donation or more, and I'd be happy to send you a Maverick t-shirt or a Trump Fighting for Freedom t-shirt, or just a Trump Fight t-shirt. We've got the two styles. What else do we have? Oh yeah, Exile the Knights of Malta t-shirt. So whatever you like, any t-shirt you like. You just tell me what kind you want, what size you need. Leave a comment when you leave the donation, and I would be happy to send you one out. Helps us out a great deal. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Thank you so much for helping us and supporting the channel. We have other news going on. We'll come back to this presidential stuff, but we have other news to talk about tonight as well. Let's focus on Canada for just a moment, because we have a situation in the town of Kingston, Ontario. And we have, hang on a second here. Oh, we've got a call coming in. Hang on just a moment. Hang on just a moment there, John. Just what? Give me 1 second.
Awesome.
Hang on just a moment. Okay. All right. Well, John's on the line, so let's just bring John in right now. Since he's here, we won't keep him waiting. Let's find out what's on John's mind. John, you're out there in Alberta. What's going on?
Yeah, good evening from Western Alberta. Yeah, awesome. How are you guys tonight?
I'm good. I think I'm just looking in the chat. I think everybody's, yeah, Alicia says, not so funny if it was Cosmo. I know, Alicia. I don't think eating dogs is funny. I just think this is all very strange. This whole thing is just bizarre. Yeah, and if anybody tries to eat my dog, they got to go through me. So, and if anybody tries to eat me, they got to go through Cosmo. So, and he's got a he's got a temper when it comes to people coming near me trying to eat me. He doesn't like it. Anyway, back to you, John. What are you thinking?
Well, Rick in Maverick News family, I kind of think the vote's in from Alberta. I think it'd be the thumbs up on another debate, Trump and Comrade Kamala Harris. Kind of with some conditions, though. I think Mr. Trump has to come in with more of a soft approach, more of a Ronald Reagan approach, stick to policy, stick to make America great again and be positive, not negative. Reagan was always had that wicked sense of humor, Rick.
Yeah.
And spoke directly to people. And I think Trump needs to float above the debating from Comrade Kamala and not buy into that, rise above it because he's better than that. He's more sophisticated and speak directly. That's what, 70 million people watch him the other night, Rick?
When I checked, it was 67 million.
Okay, well, you've made my point. I think he needs to speak direct to the American public, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, or Libertarian, and he needs to be a Ronald Reagan and lift everybody up with Make America Great Again. His policies, his past record is pretty good, and be a little bit humble and speak direct. Let's get this country united.
It was like Reagan was always sort of a father figure for the nation. And, an elder statesman, a man of wisdom, someone that people could depend on, and a calm, even hand, steady at the wheel, somebody that people could look to for guidance and stability in turbulent times. That's what people, I think, are looking for to some degree right now. And I don't think he rose to that occasion. He just came off a little too angry in the debate. He just scowled too much. I think it hurt him. I don't think it was a complete disaster. She knew kind of how to push his buttons. She did get under his skin, and it showed. And that cost him.
Rick, you pointed out the other night, and Trump phrased it the wrong way, but he literally basically did take a bullet, the side of the head.
Yeah.
By the grace of the baby Jesus and the good Lord, he turned his head and took a bullet for democracy, and he should not exploit it, but he should use it in the proper way of standing up for America and democracy. Similar to our good friend Winston Churchill, who they've found his picture that was stolen from the hotel in Ottawa. We need a Winston Churchill again, Rick, in these times.
Yeah, we could use a leader like that for sure.
I don't know if you can pull the story up on CTV, but an iconic picture stolen from the Chateau Laurier a couple of years ago. It's been recovered in Italy, was sold through Sotheby's. And Rick, we need a Winston Churchill. If we needed Winston now, Winston, we need you back from heaven, my friend. That's who we need. We need Reagan too.
Yeah, so the photo has been recovered. Here, I'll just put the picture up. If you don't know what we're talking about, this was in the Chateau Laurier Hotel, right? And I'm not familiar with all the details, but...
Well, it's a very, very famous photo, done by a very famous artist. It's an original, and it's hung in the Chateau Laurier for forever. And it was stolen in, I think, 2021. And a local guy noticed that the guy that stole it replaced it with a forgery. And this local guy noticed it and put them onto things. And after about a 2.5 year investigation, and kudos go out to the Ottawa City Police, followed this all around the world into Italy through Sotheby's. And they've recovered it, and there's going to be a big ceremony here, I think the next few months, with the original photo back. I hope it's going to be under lock and key, you know, from now on. But it's an iconic, one-of-a-kind photo of Churchill. And that's who we need leading the world right now, is somebody like Sir Winston Churchill.
Yeah, so the portrait was called The Roaring Lion. It was a portrait. And this 68-year-old man who was at one time identified or sort of pinpointed as the prime suspect in the theft will actually have the honor of hanging the photograph back on the wall where it belongs in the Fairmont Chateau Laurier, which is, a historic upscale hotel in the nation's capital.
And it's, Rick, it's such a positive story during these dark times around the world. That's why I segued into it, because I think it is important for people and our friends around the United States to realize that as well. Just an iconic photo and an iconic leader, really. But I miss Ronald Reagan myself, Rick. I grew up with Ron.
Yeah, so this was stolen, I guess, in August of 2022. So this guy walked by the photograph of Churchill in the dark oak reading room and noticed that the photo was hanging crooked. So he took it off the wall and set it aside to rehang it. And when he went to remount it, he noticed that there were no lock mechanisms and the frame was smaller than he remembered the thing being. I guess this guy must have worked at the hotel. And then it was crooked on this wire, and so he knew something was amiss. So that the photo had been replaced with a fake, not the original, I guess. So it took.
Are you able to put the picture up for?
I did. I did put a picture of it up. Yep. And it took the cops 2 years to sort of solve this case, I guess. So. A very interesting story. Yeah, so I'm glad that you kind of brought us up to date on this.
Anyways, back to our orange orangutan, Mr.
Oh,
Trump.
yeah. I should say though, John, that the guy who's charged is a 43-year-old man. His name is Jeffrey Ian James Wood from Powassan, Ontario. That's in Northern Ontario. He's been charged for the theft and trafficking of the portrait, and he was arrested back in April. So later, Ottawa will travel. Police are going to go to Rome for a ceremony to mark the success of this international investigation that led to the recovery of this iconic photograph. Pretty interesting story. So yeah, awesome. The Roaring Lion back home.
So positive. And back to our Trump man. Yeah, I think he's got to just stick to his guns, make America great again, his policies, his track record, and he's got to look directly at the American people and tell them his story and rise above the debate from Comrade Harris.
It is it is strange. It's a strange election. I don't know what else to say about it.
It's as the stomach turns, Rick, the young and the restless, and buckle your seatbelt because there's another 54 days to go, my friends. A lot can happen in 54 days.
Yeah, what do you think Trump needs to do if he doesn't do the debate, or even if he does, what else should he be doing, do you think, to score points and win the election? What does he need to do?
Well, I think he's got to continue on his famous rallies. You know, he does a lot of call-in shows, Fox, NBC, ABC is not in very good frame of mind with him at the moment. But, you know, he's always been out and about doing call-in town hall meetings. You know, he's out and about. Yeah, but I think he's got to deliver that strong message of uniting the United States of America, whether you are Republican, Democrat, libertarian, or independent. He's the best man at the time for the job, with the world on the edge of World War III, and we need him back in the White House. He'll be very good for Canada. You talk to anybody in the oil business, Rick, in Alberta, and it's just hands down, it's 99% Trump. We need our pipeline finished to go into the United States, and I think he'll be a lot more positive figure for Canada, especially for Western Canada, than Comrade Kamala Harris. So. And look, I got nothing against the lady. You know, it's just the time is for Trump again.
I gotta say, like, I don't like her laugh, right? And I'm a free market guy. I am more of a conservative, but I have to say, she did a good job with that debate. I didn't hear the cackling laugh so much. Maybe that's because the microphones are muted. Maybe that helped her. And
well, Rick, she did an absolutely fantastic job. But Rick, we're missing that laugh. Can you give us a taste of that laugh without scaring your wife? Just a couple, Rick, without scaring your wife.
My wife is in the building. If I do this, she's going to think that I'm nuts.
Just one.
Well, she
just
already
one,
thinks
Rick.
I'm nuts. Just
we're
one?
begging for just
Really? You
one,
want me to
Rick.
do it?
A quick one. Yeah. Just please.
All right.
Get ready, folks. Here it comes. Maverick.
I'm not very good. Nobody can do Kamala like Kamala.
Oh, Rick, one more.
No, it's your turn.
You
You
can't
do it.
I haven't had a glass of wine yet. Maybe after a liter of wine, Rick, I would attempt it like karaoke, but
You made me
Rick,
do it,
it's
and you're not
almost
going to
like-
join me? Just one little cackle. Come on.
That's actually, Rick, that's a scary Halloween laugh.
Come on, John.
Kamala.
Just one little one. A little cackle.
Oh, I can't even go for it, Rick. If I had a glass of wine, it'd be different, but no.
A giggle.
No.
A little giggle.
Can't do it.
A Kamala, a little tiny giggle. No?
You're so good at it.
No,
you're so good. I'd be better at a Ronald Reagan joke, but anyways.
That's
That's for maybe tomorrow night.
Okay, well, you practice, and we'll get you the next time out.
And Maverick news on a side note, Rick, I just saw Brendan at President's Choice, and he's got another event upcoming in October, which I think he sent you the details on. And we'll talk to him the next week or so. But
Sure.
you know our guy from Innisfail.
Yep. I spoke to him about that before. He's
Yeah.
I told him he's welcome to come on, so we'll set up a date and we'll find out what that's all about on a future program. So, Brendan
One
Pringle.
more laugh, Rick, for
No.
Western Canada.
Nope.
One more come out.
You didn't reciprocate, so no
Maybe
dice
tomorrow
tonight.
night.
One
Best to
one
all
was
the
one
Maverick
too
News
many
family.
this evening.
Okay.
Okay.
Cheers.
Talk to you later.
God bless.
Adios.
Peace around the world, folks. Pray for peace.
Thank you,
We
John.
love peace.
All right. Have a good
Bye-bye.
night, my friend. See you. Bye. Oh, too much. But I'm not the only one making funny videos about eating dogs and cats. Here, check it out.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
America has lost its mind. America has lost its collective mind. Oh my. Pray for America.
He's a fighter. He's a survivor. President Trump, defiant, strong. He is determined to make America great again. Pay tribute to the 45th President of the United States with this collectible t-shirt from the Maverick News Memorable Moments collection. Even a would-be assassin's bullet could not stop him. Instead, he emerged with his fist in the air ready to fight. For freedom. Get your Trump Fighting for Freedom t-shirt with any donation of $30 or more to Maverick News. There are 2 iconic artistic designs to choose from. But there is only one way to get these. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Support free speech. Free media. Support Maverick News. Call 1-866-248-1490 or order online at supergeeks.tv.
Now, I have to say also that this is strange. I have never seen anything like this from any other presidential candidate ever. I don't quite get it. I don't know why he would do this. But here we are in the middle of this election, and Trump puts out another video, this about promoting some cryptocurrency. I do not get it. Why would he do this now? If I were running his campaign as his campaign manager, I would strongly advise against it. But here it is. Does anybody know anything about this? This to me also seems very strange. But we've seen a lot of, unusual things, and it's a different time, and technology has changed. The world has changed. He came out with those Trump NFT trading cards, those non-fungible token trading cards, where he looks like Superman and blah, blah, blah. Now he's pumping a cryptocurrency. Look, this is the video that he put out. I don't get it.
Join me live on Twitter Spaces at 8 p.m. this September 16th for the launch of World Liberty Financial. We're embracing the future with crypto and leaving the slow and outdated big banks behind.
I don't get it. September 16th. So that's in, 4 days? He's going to help launch an online crypto company thing? You do that in the middle of a presidential campaign? That seems strange to me. If I were him, I would be focused on the election campaigning. I wouldn't be plugging a crypto bank currency thingamajiggy, whatever. Okay, whatever, man. It's your campaign. Just seems odd to me. And it seems like a mine, a mine that is potentially going to blow up, that he planted himself. I don't know. It just seems, doesn't that seem odd? And everybody's worried about CBDCs and digital currencies. And there's Trump, who seems to be the champion of people on the conservative or whatever side, populist side, where people are worried about digital currencies. And there he is plugging a cryptocurrency in the middle of a presidential campaign. I don't get it. I don't get this either. Here's Biden. Yesterday, we told you that he put this hat on, this Trump hat. And I know some people are skeptical. They're saying it's fake. I told you I saw it from multiple angles. It's true. It happened. He really did it. Here's a very clear exchange. You can see this is very, very real. Again, why would he do it? I guess he thinks it's funny. Now, he isn't running, so what does he have to lose now? Nothing, right? It might, and I don't think it's going to hurt Kamala Harris, so he can do it if he wants. It's not really going to do any damage, but it is still sort of weird, don't you think? Here, watch the exchange. This is when he's meeting some sort of a community center, town hall, or something.
I'll give you my presidential hat. Presidential seal on it.
You want to autograph it?
Oh, sure, I'll autograph it.
Huh?
Yeah.
You remember your name?
I don't remember my name. I'm slow.
Stuart Park. Stuart Old Park.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm an old guy.
You're an old Park, right?
I know you would know about that.
What?
About being old.
Oh, I know.
All right.
I'm a young timer.
He reminds me of the guys I grew up with. There was always one in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, I'm the other one.
There you go, man. I need that hat.
You want my autograph?
Hell no.
You know my name. Come on.
I ain't going that far.
Yeah, you said you would do a selfie. There you go.
It's funny.
Just remember, it was funny. No eating dogs and cats.
Hey, they're good.
Thank you.
They're good. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I hope you like the pizza.
Huh?
You guys picked the place to get. I don't know where it's not easy.
It's just, this election is just so strange. Okay. Makes me laugh. He got me. I've always found Biden to be a little too hard-edged, even just downright mean-looking sometimes, ornery at times. But as he gets older, the edges are getting softer, and now that he's about to exit the scene and his days as president are very numbered, I don't know, he seems to be loosening up a little bit, softer around the edges. Maybe just a little bit more likable. Yeah. It was funny. It was funny. And he's got nothing to lose now, so he's on his way out after doing his service. I'll be right back.
The information war is raging. Truth without integrity is worth nothing. Maverick News. Because those who have power and those who seek it must be held accountable.
The world is watching.
Join our family of truth seekers. Donate today and add your voice to the chorus of Maverick Knights. Donate at maverickdonations.com. Truth. Integrity. It's the Maverick way. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Maverick News. The world is watching. Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News, Maverick News. Defending free speech, Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Okay, 2 people are dead. 1 remains in serious condition following a violent attack near the Encampment on Montreal Street in Kingston, Ontario. And the Integrated Care Hub, that's a safe injection site for those who don't know the politically correct lingo. This happened this morning. Kingston police responded to the scene around 10:30 a.m. after reports that a man had attacked 3 individuals. Police spokesperson Constable Anthony Colangeli confirmed that all 3 victims sustained life-threatening injuries and were rushed to Kingston General Hospital. Authorities say the injuries were caused by both an edged weapon and a blunt object. Frontenac paramedics treated 1 woman and 2 men before transporting them to hospital. Tragically, 2 of the victims have since passed away, as confirmed by Kingston Mayor Brian Patterson in a social media statement. We have some photos of Montreal Street here to show you, where police continue their investigation. And here you are. This is what it looks like down there today. Forensics teams on scene, going through the area, collecting information, evidence from the scene. This is a clip of a police officer on scene as collected by, I believe this is from Elliot Ferguson. This is the source for this clip here on Maverick News. Here's Elliot's clip with this police officer on scene.
We're on Montreal Street, and we have Montreal Street closed between Hickson Avenue and Railway Street, and that's for public safety and for the safety of our officers and everybody involved to be able to conduct a proper investigation. The assaults took place in various locations, so we do have a couple scenes on the go in the area.
And that's from Post Media newspaper, and that's their social media post tonight. And as I said, there was a post from the mayor of Kingston who responded to this, confirming some of the information we just conveyed to you. I'll show you what he had to say. He's had to say about this. Very concerning. This highlighting a big social problem that is manifesting across Canada and the United States. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime here in Canada. Even here in this town, I've mentioned this. I showed you this. Even here in my small town, my small city, we now have 2 major homeless encampments. A sign of a very weak economy, major social issues, drug issues that really need to be addressed. Here's what the mayor of Kingston has to say about all this. He says, Kingston police and Frontenac paramedics responded to a serious incident at the encampment around the safe injection site, consumption treatment services, and integrated care hub, ICH, at 661 Montreal Street, following reports of an individual with an edged weapon. Kingston police are reporting there are 2 fatalities, with a 3rd person transported to hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police are currently involved in an active standoff. This, of course, a post that he placed on Twitter earlier today. Situation with the suspect contained in the area. They are working diligently and peacefully to resolve the situation and arrest the male suspect. Public safety is the #1 priority. This is the more relevant and important part. And I think this plays into a national concern, even though this is a local story. He says, I am absolutely horrified by the situation unfolding. This is an utterly senseless act of violence. I am in contact with our chief of police as the safety and well-being of our community is our top priority. It's clear the safe injection site and the ICH need to close immediately. It is no longer safe for people to use the CTS, and we need to respond. We as a city have been talking about the dangers of this encampment in and around the safe injection site for almost 3 years. There are community partners and advocates who have fought the city on every attempt we've made to clear this encampment and ensure public safety for those living there. I will not stand by and wait until more people die. Enough is enough. We need to clear the encampment, close this safe injection site and the ICH until we can find a better way to support our most vulnerable residents and work with the province to provide treatment and housing solutions. I will have more to say on this as we know more about this ongoing situation. That's Mayor Patterson out of the community of Kingston, Ontario. His comments, I think, reflect growing concern that we have across Canada and much of the United States. Sharing a problem. Actually, it's a problem, I think, that was rising to prominence in the United States and now a major concern in Canada as well, where I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I've seen people in major cities in Canada on the streets like this, but these homeless encampments, tent cities, nope, now they're even in small towns. They're popping up everywhere. You want to know why Justin Trudeau is not going to win the next election? That would be one of the main reasons why. Absolutely. Time for Justin to do something. Maybe Poilievre will have an answer, but tonight we're also seeing that he is now tying immigration to the supply of housing. That's what the word from Pierre Poilievre, leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, is tonight. And he is so far out in the head in the polls that if there were an election held today, he would win a massive, historic landslide victory. Probably the biggest landslide in the history of the country. I've said repeatedly that Justin Trudeau is the worst prime minister in Canadian history. The polls are reflecting that. I've had people say, well, why would you say that, Rick? And it's because he has failed to provide the leadership necessary to bring people together through pride of nation, through conciliatory language, with a kind, gentle touch, tolerance, in a country that has really been predicated on tolerance and compromise. He has taken a very hard line since the pandemic, and his approach has failed the country. It has left the country in a state of disrepair, the likes of which I have never seen. Not just disrepair, but absolute despair. The election isn't far off, folks. Hang in there.
Maverick News. The world is watching.
Yeah. And, you know, people love to hate Justin Trudeau now. People are building massive YouTube channels just by running negative videos about Trudeau every day. They just get on there and rip Trudeau, and they get this built-in audience, and they have amassed large followings just by posting negative stuff about Trudeau. It's amazing, really, when I look at it. Today, this is a video that has resurfaced from the past. This is, I believe, from a time before he was the leader of the party, but he was a sitting member of parliament. I've never seen this before, but somebody found this, and I think even this is telling. It says something about his attitude. Today I saw an additional video, an old one that I have seen before, of Trudeau speaking with his wife on a hot mic that he didn't realize was hot. And he was talking about how he fights and wins, his ego really inflated. She's telling him to be humble. It sounded like maybe he was at a party and maybe had a, you know, maybe something. So his judgment was a little bit off, but just the attitude was just a big ego is what it was. And look at what this is. I can't quite figure out. I don't know really why he's exactly doing this, but he's mocking someone, it appears. Maybe the guy speaking, maybe somebody else, maybe it's with regard to something else, but the behavior in the House of Commons as a sitting member of Parliament, I have to question this. Now, he's a little bit younger here, but this isn't that many years ago. It raises questions for me about his integrity and his judgment. This seems very immature.
Of the 4th Annual National Victims of Crime Awareness Week. Victims of crime are not unique to any area of the country. Every parliamentarian represents constituents whose lives have been traumatized by the selfish acts of those who have no regard for the law. We must stand by all those who need assistance and support, and remember that in the scale of justice, the lives in the balance are not simply the criminals for rehabilitation, but the victims too. I encourage all of my colleagues to reach out to victims in their communities and provide a voice for their concerns in this House of Commons. Today, in honor of the 4th Annual National Victims of Crime Awareness Week, victims of crime are not unique to any area of the country. Every parliamentarian represents constituents whose lives have been traumatized by the selfish acts of those who have no regard for the law.
I don't know what that is.
We must stand by all those who need assistance.
The post with this suggests that Justin Trudeau is that he's racist. I don't know if that's, I don't know. The behavior just looks very unusual. That's all I can say. I don't know if it's appropriate for the person who posted that to say that this is an example or a proof of him being racist. Of course, we have the blackface incidents with photographs, multiple blackface incidents, and he says he doesn't know how many times he's done it. He can't remember, which means he's done it so many times he can't remember. Another reason he should be disqualified as prime minister, really, but somehow even that scandal he managed to escape. Made of Teflon, that guy has been until now. Things have changed. Finally, after all the scandals, the SNC-Lavalin scandal, the blackface scandal, the way he handled the pandemic, the way he handled the Freedom Convoy. The list goes on. What can I say? This is Piers Morgan interviewing Frank Luntz, a Republican pollster, who says that he thinks Donald Trump is going to lose the election because of the debate performance. His debate performance. So I just thought I'd run this as we kind of pivot back into a little bit of that subject again.
Tearing into her.
Do you think Kamala won? And does that mean she may now win the election?
I think more accurately, it's that Donald Trump lost. And this is not the worst debate performance I've seen in my career, but it's very close to it. The conversations about people eating dogs and cats, calling the leader of Hungary one of the greatest world leaders, repeatedly missing the opportunity to focus on inflation and affordability, and the complete inability to present his point of view without completely tearing into her, into Joe Biden, into whomever was in his sights. It was a pretty negative performance, pretty pessimistic, cynical, contemptuous, and I think that this will cost him. Yes, I'm trying to decide if I want to go on record, and the answer is yes. I think that that he loses because of this debate performance.
Wow. When he took that bullet to the ear, I thought that would guarantee his election. But now, so much has changed. Now you have Kamala instead of Biden. The focus shifted. She's in this sort of honeymoon period, which is, I guess that should have been predictable. Anytime you have a new politician, she's not new, but she's in that position now. It feels like she's just been elected. She wasn't, but she's the new candidate. It's a new thing. And I think people are also suffering to some degree from Trump fatigue. He's been around for a while. You know, after about 4 years, 8 years, people get tired of any politician. That is just a fact. And that's where Trump is now, if you think about it, right? Elected, then not elected, that's 8 years. Now, almost a decade. And now he's running for re-election. People are tired. And if he wins, that'll be another 4 years. That will be 12 years of Trump. And that's been 12 very rocky years for America. Some people are just tired. You get tired of the same old thing, tired of the controversy. People, just for the sake of change, will focus on something new, something different. Biden's out. Harris has always been in the background. Now she feels new. There's a little bit of a honeymoon period going on, but as John just pointed out, just over 50 days left. A lot can happen in 50 days. So I don't know. I think that debate could cost him the election as well, but anything can happen. And October is coming up, so you have the big October surprise. What's it going to be? I don't know. I think they have Trump at a disadvantage there as well, though, because the Trump campaign was focused on Biden. Whatever they were doing, whatever they'd planned for, whatever they'd invested in, it was all focused on Biden. They were going to attack Biden. They had an October surprise cooked up, rest assured, for Biden. But now that's out the window. Rudy Giuliani released his Biden crime family book just recently. That was supposed to clearly be another shot fired at Biden. But now Biden's not in the picture. So Giuliani's book, it got a little bit of attention on the media circuit, where they, you go and you do your interviews to promote your book. It got a little bit of attention, but nowhere near what it would have had Biden still be running. Now he's not, Biden isn't in the picture. So the Trump team has got to be scrambling. They're going after her. They have to dig something up. They have to find something. Do they have enough time? They've had to really shift. You would think that the Democrats would be in a worse position. Doesn't feel like it. Feels like this whole thing has been choreographed for a while. Maybe it's just skillful politicking behind the scenes. That's probably what it is. They have a big machine over there at the DNC, massive budget, a lot of experience. They know how to win elections. And I'd say that they have more coordination, more organization, more money, maybe even more depth, I think, in terms of talent, experience on the campaign side, on the DNC side. And I think they just ultimately have more control as well because they are focused on control. So they're just in a better position, I think, to kind of make quick changes like that. Trump's still building a team, still adding to his team with the addition of RFK Jr. and some of his campaign people. And then you bring in Tulsi Gabbard and you bring in some other people sort of from other political camps who are like migrating over to him, which can be sort of an asset, but at the same time, everything seems to be changing. The flavor of everything continues to change as we see more of this convergence. What are we going to get, though, on the other side? It makes me wonder. RFK Jr. and Trump, they don't even come from the same political camp. Now they're allies in this election, and he's going to put these people in positions within his administration if he's elected. So what influence will that have over a Trump presidency? I don't know. But clearly, Kennedy would be pushing for policies that wouldn't normally align with what I would say Trump would want or would promote. It would be different. The whole thing feels different. That's just the reality of it. Politics in Canada too, it's volatile. As I said, people love to hate Trudeau. This was Trudeau yesterday. He's out in British Columbia right now because they've been having caucus summit this week in advance of the resumption of Parliament next week. And he was out there in BC, and just look at what these politicians have to put up with, what they have to endure. This is actually very, I would say, dangerous in a way, especially right now for Trudeau, because we've seen so many people display so much anger and hatred toward him. They really need to ramp up his security. I don't think it's wise, honestly, for them to be pulling him through a crowd like you're about to see. I don't think it's wise at all. They're asking for trouble. I hope nothing happens to him, but I don't know how you protect him in an environment like this. And this, I think, is a fairly friendly crowd, but you don't know who's going to be in a crowd like this. And here you've got security around him. I don't think it's enough. Take a look.
Hang in there. All right.
That's right. Ishan, that's right.
Here we go.
All right. Towards the end of the table.
All right, guys. Be polite. Be I'm going around this way, so go to the other side.
Life in a fishbowl. People think that politicians have a lot of power. In a lot of ways, they're very powerless. It's a tough job. I know people are going, I don't have any sympathy for Trudeau. I get it, but any politician, you think about living like the president of the United States. You have to ride around in an armored car. Half the world wants to blow you to bits. It's like, I don't think that's fun. Someone you could fire a missile at you when you least expect it. Not just the president, but, You know, any leader of any large political group, country, leader of a country, Trump took a bullet to the ear. We've seen, you see politicians assassinated. It's a scary job. It takes some courage, and it's a lot of sacrifice, personal sacrifice. You're always under scrutiny, always under a lens, you know, a magnifying glass. You can't make a move. You better watch your P's and Q's all the time. All the time. But especially when you're as unpopular as Trudeau right now. And the campaigns, and they are campaigns, directed at him to make people really angry. They're intense. They've been intense. And a lot of the heckling, a lot of that's been coordinated, choreographed. Don't kid yourself. It's not just organic. There's a campaign out there. There has been, where protesters swoop in, get organized, and heckle him when he arrives in some locations at some events. And the other reason he's not popular, of course, is because of the MAID program, medical assistance in dying. Some people think it's okay. They think it's humane, but I don't agree. Not the way it's set up. It's not what people think. It's far too easy for people to sign up and get doctors to approve, sign off on doctor-assisted suicides. That's one of the issues that has made, I think, Justin Trudeau very unpopular in the country. Speaking of suicides, did you see the video or did you hear the story about musician Jon Bon Jovi saving someone who was suicidal? I have the video here to tell you about it. Let me just take a quick break. I'm going to come back on the other side and we'll tell you the story. We'll show you the video. Jon Bon Jovi saving a suicidal person who wanted to jump off a bridge. Stay with me.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on Earth.
The entire world is watching.
Every dictator, every crazy dictator in the world is watching. The world is watching. On TV, the entire world is watching. On social media.
But the entire world is watching, and yes, they are seeing what we have apparently bravely been willing to say that others are thinking.
Stand for freedom. Literally stand for freedom. Let's get this done. The entire world is watching.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars.
Maverick News. Maverick News. Maverick News.
Let me have more control of my own destiny.
The world is watching.
Let me get this video ready here. Jon Bon Jovi. So this was a remarkable turn of events in Nashville. And this was last night. Jon Bon Jovi helped prevent a tragedy while filming a music video for his song People's House on the John Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge. Bon Jovi encountered a woman who appeared to be on the verge of jumping. So we have this surveillance footage that has been shared by Metropolitan Nashville Police. It shows the musician approaching this distressed person. And with the help of a bystander, he spoke to the woman, persuades her to step back from the ledge. Moments later, these two good Samaritans were able to pull her to safety. Bon Jovi and this other person, saving the suicidal lady. So after the incident, the woman embraced Bon Jovi, who remained calm all through this thing. Pretty, just straight up, very calm, cool, collected. Authorities arrived shortly after the woman was brought back to safety, and Bon Jovi has chosen not to comment on this. He says he's not commenting, or conveyed, he didn't say it, but I guess got the information out to the media that he's not going to comment on it because he wants to respect the woman's privacy. Here's the video. This is what it looked like on the bridge. So he just speaks to her, moves over. Very calm. Wow. Yeah, I think these days a lot of people are feeling that way. We've had people call into the program here feeling that way, haven't we? Yes, we have. It's stressful. The world certainly changed during the pandemic. Not for the better. There's a mania that's running rampant through our countries. And I know that a lot of people are out there hurting, confused, looking for something to latch onto. And I'm grateful for you guys being here because we have each other, right? We have our little family online every night, and I think we find support even here in a small way through each other. It's going to be okay. I don't know how, guys. I don't know how, but it's going to be okay. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. I've got a little bit more. I'll be right back.
Maverick News. Fighting for freedom. Exile. The Knights of Malta. Maverick News. Join us. The world is watching.
This is not getting much play, but this is a huge story. This story about the first commercial spacewalk. Yeah, it's very cool stuff. I mean, this is I've got video here. I'm going to share it with you. It is an extraordinary milestone for private space exploration for mankind. Tech billionaire Jared Isaacman And a fellow crew member made history today by completing the first private spacewalk, a collaboration with SpaceX that took place hundreds of miles above Earth. Until now, spacewalks had been reserved solely for professional astronauts. But Isaacman, an entrepreneur, along with his crew, prepared for the movement by depressurizing their capsule before opening the hatch to step into the vacuum of space. He said in this by radio, he says, back at home, we have a lot of work to do, but from here it sure looks like a perfect world. That's what he said during this mission. So unlike the lengthy and intricate spacewalks conducted by NASA astronauts at the International Space Station, this private walk was relatively short, lasting under 2 hours. NASA spacewalks typically require astronauts to traverse the station for maintenance or repairs, often working in pairs for 7 to 8 hours. All 4 crew members wore SpaceX's newly designed spacewalking suits, developed specifically for these kinds of missions. The team had launched earlier in the week from Cape Canaveral, Florida, pushing farther into space than any human since NASA's moon missions more than 50 years ago. And for this particular spacewalk, the orbit was adjusted to 737 kilometers above Earth. The spacewalk was the central focus of the 5-day mission, which represents years of preparation and is part of a long-term effort aimed at the eventual settlement of Mars and other planets. The first private spacewalking test involved more stretching than actual walking. Isaacman emerged from the capsule, maintaining a hold on the spacecraft throughout as he tested the new suit's flexibility. The capsule's hatch was equipped with a walker-like structure to provide additional support. Let's go to the footage. Here it is here. Man, I remember as a kid, the Apollo missions, watching those on television. And man, that had the world riveted. But now it's almost become, in the minds of people, I think, commonplace. So here you have this major milestone in space exploration and technological advancement, and people are like, whatever. I don't think it's whatever. I think this is pretty cool. Weird looking video, honestly, but I guess that's the way it was shot. Oh, I know the conspiracy theorists will say fake. No, this really happened. This really happened. Very cool stuff. Here, let's get a different angle. Here we go with 2 different shots at different times up on the screen at the same time, though. This is Isaacman and his other crew member, Sarah Gillis. And those are cooler looking spacesuits than the ones NASA had back in the early days of space travel, which were much bulkier. I'm liking those suits. Pretty cool stuff. And that's the way it is today, September 12th, 2024. Hang in there. As much as things seem to be on the decline, as bad as things are, even though we have these wars raging, there's that stuff going on too. There's a lot to be hopeful for. All you have to do is embrace it. Focus on the positive. Make the world a better place. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow on the flip side.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.